Tonight in our original series, Project Home, we take a look at massive San Francisco landlord forcing rent-controlled tenants to pay their mortgage.
And while what they're doing is legal, tenants and city supervisors tell KPIX 5's Susie Steimle it's wrong.
You got a tough one?
This is exactly where Patrick Shannon wants to be, living out his golden years with his wife, Kathy, by his side. But instead of solving crosswords at home, he keeps finding himself in another puzzle across town. Here he's fighting with people half his age, trying to protect his wife and their home.
I wish they would have picked on me when I was in good fighting form. But now they come at me when we're a bit vulnerable.
Patrick and Kathy have lived in this rent-controlled apartment in San Francisco's North Beach neighborhood for 17 years. Recently, her health took a turn.
My wife's health concerns are the most important thing here. It was 7 years ago she suffered a stroke.
Meanwhile, their new landlord has been steadily raising their rent. Altogether, it has gone up 19% in 2 years, from just under $1,700 a month to $2,021, even though they're on rent control.
They're pushing it. They've cost us so much money.
It turns out their landlord is no small player. Veritas Investments owns 500 buildings and some 2,000 apartment units in San Francisco. The company is valued at $685 million and has a history of passing along operating costs to rent-controlled tenants. These can be everything from construction to garbage services, utilities, repairs, and even, as in the case of the Shannons, the cost of the building itself.
I have reviewed the petition.
That's what this meeting is for. Veritas is trying to make Patrick and his neighbors pay their mortgage.
That seems to me grossly unfair because they were speculators. They came in and they paid too much and they bought at the height of the market. Now the market's receded from that point. And so we're paying the price for their misjudgment.
But I also think that Veritas needs to be a good corporate citizen, and I hope that they understand that.
Supervisor Aaron Peskin co-sponsored legislation back in 2017 that put an end to this type of fee. Tenants are no longer supposed to be on the hook to pay for increases in property taxes or their landlord's debt. Unfortunately for Patrick, the law isn't retroactive, so he might still have to pay.
While it's a great law going forward and will help tenants in the future, there are some folks who got caught in the middle.
Nobody's complaining about the water. Nobody's complaining about any kind of construction. They're complaining about paying off this multi-million-dollar company's debt.
Right, and whenever a property is purchased, these are some of the pass-throughs that do go to the tenant historically.
Paul Rose is a spokesperson for Veritas. He says the company is encouraging tenants who cannot pay these rent increases to apply for what's known as a hardship exemption. Veritas is working with Supervisor Peskin on a program that does exempt people who can prove that they are low income and that they should not be paying these fees.
This is something we're looking at citywide. We understand that there are a lot of affordability issues in San Francisco, and there are things that we can do to help with that, and this could be one of those.
But Patrick says he doesn't want another hoop to jump through.
No one wants to really sit down and talk with us like people.
He says even if they don't end up having to pay for Veritas's debt, he expects to see more rent increases from his new landlord. While debt fees are going away in San Francisco, it is still legal for landlords to charge tenants for any improvements made to the building. And based on what he's seen so far, Patrick worries that's exactly what Veritas will continue to do.
This is a gathering storm. I don't think that this is going to dissipate. I'm afraid that they're gearing up their appetite to buy apartment buildings and put all residents into this kind of stress and pressure.
So you've likely seen these signs all around the city of San Francisco for Rent SF Now. That means that is a Veritas property, and as we told you, there are a lot of them. So tomorrow you can expect to see a lot of Veritas tenants out protesting these very types of rent increases in the street. There are 25 buildings right now that are facing these types of debt service rent increases. They're billing this as what will be the largest tenants' rights action in the city of San Francisco in 2019, and it all starts at noon.
You know, Susie, in your story, you mentioned Veritas is trying to work with tenants on hardship exemptions. So how exactly will that work?
Yeah, so interesting, Juliet, that at the exact same time that this demonstration is going on tomorrow, Veritas will, of course, have an answer for it. Tomorrow, they are announcing a new program on hardship exemptions, where those have always existed, as we've mentioned in the story in the city of San Francisco. You can apply for a hardship exemption if it's too much money for you to be able to pay that rent increase passed on by your landlord. That already exists, but you have to go through the rent board. Can take several months. And so Veritas is now saying they are going to take their tenants' word for it. So if you say it's too much, they say starting tomorrow, they won't pass on these increases. But as you just saw in the story, right now they're asking tenants to pay these types of rent increases. So there's a lot of doubt that the story will change tomorrow, but we shall see.
Yeah, sounds like future follow-ups. All right, Susie, thank you.
And we want to hear your housing stories as well as your ideas for solving this problem. Send your suggestions to projecthome@cbs.com. And Susie will join us again with an update on Wednesday.